student sit-in enters its third day. I'm Amanda Winograd, and I'll have that story coming up on NCC News at 4 o'clock.
An arrest has been made in the drowning of an Oswego teen.
The Syracuse area has a new congressman.
And a priest has been sentenced in a child pornography case. NCC News at 4 is next.
Syracuse University's chancellor agrees to meet with student protesters who want a bigger role in campus decision-making. Good afternoon, I'm John Tamino.
And I'm Dylan Siegelbaum. Chancellor Kent Syverud says he will go face-to-face with the demonstrators tonight to try to address their grievances. Amanda Winograd has just returned from the site of the demonstration and has our top story.
Syracuse University students from an organization called the General Body are demanding action from Chancellor Syverud. They claim that the university administration has not been transparent about major decisions, nor has it been accessible to students who want to express concerns, and they won't stand by anymore.
Even though you can go through everything democratic on campus, your decisions are actually being made by the Board of Trustees or the administration, and there is no student input in there.
Ella Mendonça is a student leader involved in the rally and has been sleeping here the past 2 nights. She says that the sit-in is a response to the lack of attention that student organizations have been getting from the administration. The General Body, the organization that planned the rally, consists of students from many different student advocacy groups who wanted to come together to have a stronger voice.
It's all these small groups, like the NAACP, Pride Union, Divest, that are actually coming forth to be like, you know, we had a small issue that we could have dealt with the administration, but the administration, when it's a small issue, will not deal with us.
This building is home to campus classrooms as well as administration offices such as the Chancellor's office. Students have been camped out here on the floor since after their rally on Monday, and they intend to stay until all of their demands are met. The General Body submitted a 45-page document listing their grievances and demands to the Chancellor a few days ago. The administration made its first move yesterday when the Chancellor stopped by to recognize the group and let them know that he had the document, he would read it, and that he assigned a liaison from his office, Bea Gonzalez, to work with the students. Gonzalez came by today with reassuring words.
He's read the document, he's engaged with the document, and he wants to spend some time with the group sometime today.
Several leaders from the group will be meeting with the Chancellor sometime tonight, and they hope to come to a quick resolution.
We don't want to be here, but we will if we're forced to, and right now we feel like we're forced to.
If the meeting tonight doesn't satisfy the demonstrators, you'll find them camped out again this evening. They say that they are willing to listen and to compromise with the administration. Live in the studio, Amanda Winograd, NCC News.
The Board of Trustees is also meeting later this week, and the students hope that the issue will be discussed at that meeting as well. We'll keep you updated as that story develops later tonight.
Authorities in Oswego have made an arrest in connection to the drowning of Anna Rose Shove. Earlier today, state police announced the arrest of Steven Zatanek. Zatanek is being charged with second-degree murder. According to police, he was on parole for burglary and was arrested a week after Shove's death for violating his parole.
3 or 4 days after the drowning occurred, we asked for the media and the general public's help to identify a guy named Steve with some tattoos from Syracuse. The media got the word out, we got the information, and we rapidly located a parolee who was trying to engage teenage girls on the beach that day.
If convicted, he faces 25 years to life in prison.
New York voters have spoken. Governor Andrew Cuomo will remain in office for 4 more years. He defeated Republican challenger Rob Astorino by a 12% margin. Syracuse resident and Green Party candidate Howie Hawkins got about 5% of the vote. Hawkins' running mate Kathy Hochul was elected as lieutenant governor. The New York 24th Congressional District has a new congressman. Republican challenger John Katko defeated Democrat incumbent Dan Mathey by a 20% margin. Mathey thanked his supporters for the opportunity to serve, while Katko stressed his commitment to the district and his readiness for a new challenge.
We all love our region. We all love our country. And in our country, in our democratic system, elections don't always have the outcomes that we want. But for the sake of our area, our region, Central New York, we wish Mr. Katko well, regardless of our differences, and that's what I just did.
We deserve better out of our leaders. We deserve better than having a 10% approval rate for our congressmen. And you know what? We got to keep trying to get things better in Washington, and that's why I got into the race.
Okay. John Katko will be sworn into office along with all the other congressmen and senators on January 3rd.
One of the most controversial items on the ballot has passed. Proposition 1 calls for a new method of creating congressional districts. A new commission will draw the boundaries, hold a public comment period, and then seek approval from state lawmakers.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the first go-round as to how the districts are drawn. It'll be, and so I wouldn't make a prediction. We may look back on it and say, yep, this was good, we now have a much better way of doing this, or we may look back on it and say, you know, it really didn't change things.
New York state law requires districts to be redrawn at least every 10 years based on the census results. The measure passed by about a 57 to 43% margin. Fort Drum's U.S. Army 10th Mountain Division is beginning its return home today after 13 years in Afghanistan. The specially trained infantry force spent 5 tours in Afghanistan, including some of the more dangerous regions. The withdrawal comes as coalition commanders race to meet President Obama's orders for their post-2014 mission.
Convicted killer Ganesh Ramsaran is now charged with bribery. The Chenango County Sheriff's Office says Ramsaran offered a deputy in the county jail $100,000 if he helped him escape. Ramsaran was arraigned yesterday. He is back in the county jail where he is being held on bail. A Syracuse priest who pleaded guilty to child porn charges has been sentenced to probation. Father Robert Orrs has been sentenced to 10 years of probation as part of his plea deal. Orrs was charged with 6 counts of child pornography. As part of his plea, he must also register as a sex offender.
New charges against the Salina man charged with manslaughter in the carbon monoxide death of his daughter. The Onondaga County Sheriff's Office says Glenn Collins defrauded 2 people out of security deposits on his home using Craigslist. Collins is due back in court on Monday, November 10th. Donuts will fill the abandoned Krispy Kreme again on Erie Boulevard, but this time from a different chain. Renovations on a new Dunkin' Donuts location began earlier this week, where the Krispy Kreme closed in 2007. The building will be occupied by 2 tenants. The second one has not yet been determined. Construction is expected to be completed by early next year.
It's an unusually warm day here in Syracuse. NCC News weather reporter Chantel Felice is out on the weather deck with the first forecast. Chantel?
Thank you, Dylan. It's a little breezy right now, a mix of sun and clouds. Current temperature is 58 degrees. Low chance of rain today, only at 10%, and pretty low humidity, only at 38%. However, we do have winds blowing from southwest, and it's about 15 to 25 miles per hour, so it's nice this afternoon. As you can tell, I'm not wearing a coat, but sorry to say this won't last for long. I'll tell you what we could not look forward to beginning tomorrow and the full forecast coming up later today.
Good afternoon and welcome to your Thursday, February 26 news brief. I'm Jessica Mendelson and here are today's top stories. The Governor Cuomo administration has released its annual list of failing schools. Out of the 178 schools identified, 18 are in Syracuse. This includes Nottingham High School, which has been on the list the past 10 years. According to the report, a failing school is in the bottom 5% of schools statewide in ELA and math scores, does not show progress in test performance, and has graduation rates below 60%. And the Federal Communications Commission has passed a historic measure in Internet regulation. The new net neutrality rules act to provide an equal opportunity for Internet speeds and accessibility. The FCC ruled in a 3-2 vote split along party lines to assert extra government authority over the Internet. The new rules will not be official until summertime. However, major telecommunication companies are expected to challenge the new rules in court. And the execution of Georgia's first woman in 70 years has been delayed. The planned execution of Kelly Renee Gissengainer was postponed due to winter weather affecting the state. The execution has been rescheduled for Monday. Gissengainer was found guilty in 1997 for plotting to kill her husband.
Currently outside, it's 15 degrees, but it feels like only 4. As for tonight's temperatures, we'll go down to 6 degrees, but it'll feel as low as -2 with a 20% chance of snow.
And coming up on Citrus TV Live at 6, President Obama's nominee for Attorney General cleared a major hurdle today. The Senate Judiciary Committee voted 12-8 in favor of Loretta Lynch's nomination. And ISIS has taken hundreds more hostages. That's all the time we have. I'm Jessica Mendelson. Have a great night, Syracuse. Good afternoon and welcome to your Thursday, February 19th news brief. I'm Jessica Mendelson and here are today's top stories. Former New York Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver was formally indicted on 2 counts of fraud and 1 count of extortion. Before Silver stepped down as Speaker of the New York Assembly, he was regarded as the second most popular Democrat in the state. Each charge he faces can carry a maximum of 20 years in federal prison. And residents of some New York towns are exploring the possibility of seceding from the state and becoming a part of Pennsylvania. The 15 towns that are interested are located in Broome, Delaware, Tioga, and Sullivan counties. However, the names of the towns are not being reported. And at least 179 patients at a Los Angeles hospital may have been exposed to a drug-resistant superbug that has already infected 7 people, 2 of which have died. According to the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, the CRE bacteria could have been on scopes used in endoscopic procedures from October to January. And this month, we are on track to set the record for the coldest February and the coldest month in recorded history for Syracuse. Today continues that trend with the temperature currently at 8 degrees, but feeling like -13. Tonight will go down to -5. And here are the top stories that we are working on for Citrus TV Live at 6. Faculty and staff who want to quit smoking will now have an opportunity to attend a free 6-week program. And Centro has released a proposal for cutting service, which would include cutting bus service completely on Sundays and holidays. And that's all the time we have. I'm Jessica Mendelson. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Citrus TV Live at 6 with Brian Chung and Alex Resnick. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Citrus TV News. Stay fresh, Syracuse.